got a little ghost dog here, and welcome to Skyrim Scripting. Today we are going to teach you how you can attach scripts to NPCs. You want to come over here and hang out? You're just going to hide behind me? I'm going to make her coming out. Why would you want to attach scripts to NPCs? You going to look? Well, for the same reasons that you would want to attach scripts to the player. You can hide behind me if you want. Good girl. We've done this previously in this series. We've done things like attaching scripts to the player, squeak, 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 so we know when they pick something up. We can tell when they die. We can tell 1,000 different things. Well, not 1,000, but there's a very specific number, and we can go look at them now. Thank you, car horns. I needed that during my screencast. So if we look at all of the different events that an actor has, and this isn't even all of them because actors get a lot of the object reference events too. There's like a bajillion things here. We can find out when an object, when an actor equips something, when they die, when they're dying. We find out when the player does certain things. We can find out when folks get hit. All kinds of stuff. This is why we want to attach scripts to NPCs. Now there's really two well-known ways of doing this. In particular, two well-known ways of getting the references to the NPCs to attach these scripts to. Because if you already have a reference to an actor, like you want to attach something to Hod, you can get Hod's individual reference and you can easily go in and either attach a script to him in CK, or you can dynamically, when you have that actor reference, just say actor.add spell. Your spell with the effect attached. Got chocolate. I had like chocolate in my teeth. I think it's gone. I got it. I had some sweets after I had lunch. Two well-known ways of doing this. One involves quests and quest aliases. Now that is stuff we've done before in this series to get a reference to the player. If you're in CK and you make a quest, we just make foo quest or whatever, and then we close it and we open it, foo quest. You can always go into these quest aliases. This is where you manage all kinds of stuff when you make quests. So we've got a reference alias, and we always just say player ref, and we specifically have it go to the player. So here's the player ref. But we can make other reference aliases, quest aliases, to other players, either specifically, so we can say NPC1. We could specifically choose a reference of someone. I don't have Skyrim loaded, so I don't have a list of all the NPCs. Or we could say, find a matching reference in the loaded area. Who is closest? Who matches these conditions? Let's say, I don't know, get is race or get is sex. That's sexist and racist. Is sneaking. You can find the nearest person who's sneaking. Great. And you can add an alias. So one of the ways of doing this is by populating these aliases, and that's what I'm going to do in next episode. We're not going to do that in this episode because for getting actors, it's way less efficient, and it involves this thing called polling, which we really don't want to do. What we're going to do is this really, really fun technique called Cloak, basically the Cloak technique. We're going to use a Cloak spell to find actors around us, and then we can attach scripts to all of those actors so that we can detect events on them. So how does this work? Let's just make a script to attach to an actor that'll make them like dance. So we'll do like create empty mod, I don't know. Dance NPC dance. We'll make them dance. Maybe we'll make them put on a silly hat. We'll do that. We'll make them dance and put on a silly hat. So this is called Dance NPC Dance. I'm going to open that up in CK. Now to find animations for dancing, we can go to Gameplay Animations. We don't have Skyrim loaded up here, so we don't see anything. We could load up Skyrim, and then you go to character, master, you scroll past idle, and you go to loose, and you see a bunch of idols. I might show you if we end up loading up Skyrim. Okay, we're going to load up Skyrim because I want to find a funny hat. And as soon as this finishes loading, ooh, I can drink my tea. That's the best part of loading CK. Yay. Man, CK is taking a hot second. It's taking a minute. It's taking a while. Ta-da! Here's slowness right here. Okay, we can find a hat, but let's make a script first, and we're just going to make a script and attach it to an actor. We're not going to deal with all this cloaking stuff or the quest alias stuff. We're just going to make a script, and we're going to attach it to an actor using a spell. No big whoop. Let's make a spell. We're going to call it Dance NPC Dance Spell. Dance NPC Dance is the name of it. So it's going to be, we're going to make it an ability. And so whenever you attach it to an actor, it's going to take effect immediately, and it'll just be a constant. If you remove the spell from them, then it will finish its effect. So it's going to be angry because we don't have an effect. That's fine. We'll make one. Don't let me forget to match them up or the game will crash. We do that so often. Dance NPC effect. I don't care what it's called. It's going to be a constant effect, so it matches up with the other one. Let's filter down to just all of our stuff. Let's associate the effect with the spell. Boop, 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 boop. Dance. Cool. Got all this stuff because we loaded up Skyrim. Now let's give the effect a script so that it'll do something when we attach it to the NPC. So right behind me, you'll see Papyrus scripts right here. I'm going to hit the add button right here. Then we're going to say new script. And I'll just call it like Dance NPC Dance Effect. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, we can right click, edit source. I won't even switch to Visual Studio Code yet. Let me go to Notepad, make this real big. We'll put in some code, and then we'll put it into the little box, compile it, and go into game. Let's say event on effect start, which takes actor target and actor caster. I believe the target will be the target here, which you can also just say get target actor anywhere from within any active magical effect, and this will give you the actor that the active magical effect is applied to. But I believe here for on effect start and on effect finish, we can just use the target that is provided. And let's have them dance. So if we go to the animations, I guess we could put on a hat. Let's get a funny hat. Let's say form property funny hat auto. Whoops. I wonder if we can grab any form in the game like that. I usually grab things like hats just by their IDs directly. I'm going to click on properties and see what I can do. There's properties right there. Here's a property. Any form. Pick object. Yeah, no. I'm gonna get a hat real quick, and I'll just get it by its ID. I don't know the easiest way to do this. Can you get, like, is there any such thing as a miscellaneous thingy? I don't know. Ooh, chef's hat. Alright, that looks absurd. I'm happy. Alright, I'm really happy with that. There's our chef's hat. I'm just gonna grab it by its ID because I'm soups lazy. I'm gonna say when the effect starts, we don't need this to be a property then. And I make my properties uppercase and my other one's not. So let's say funny hat equals game get form, and I'm just going to put in that thing's ID. So that is 1BCA7. 1BCA7. Cool. And when the effect starts, I'm just going to put it on the actor. So I'm going to say target, equip item, funny hat. I think it's AB prevent. Let me scroll down for you. I think it's AB prevent removal equals true. We want them to not be able to take it off. And then once this is no longer applied, let's take off the funny hat. I don't have my auto completion here, so I'm just flying blind, you guys. Cool. And we want him to dance, so we're gonna go get a dance animation. Let's go to gameplay animations, and then you want to go to, always opens up chicken because it's first. You want to go to character behaviors, master. Here's a bajillion different things, but we're just gonna scroll down to loose, and here's a bunch of wonderful idols that you can pick from. And you can't scroll this really at all. And these idols have objects with them. I'm going to do Cicero dance 1, 2, or 3. So it's idol Cicero dance. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make them start dancing. And I'll send that animation every second. So I'm going to say, register for update 1 second. I'll put it down here. I'll say event on update and event, and I'll say debug send animation event. I'm flying so blind without my auto completion here. We'll say idle Cicero dance 1. And we could also just pick a random number from 1 to 3. So we'll say int dance equals utility.randomInt from 1 to 3. And we'll put in that as the dance number. And whenever the effect finishes, so whenever we take off the spell, we'll say unregister for update, I think. Yeah, totes. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Cool. Let's put this all in there and let's see if it compiles. So they should put on a funny hat, start dancing, and they'll stop dancing when we take off the spell. Hello, green screen. Where am I looking? Where do I want to go? I want to go to CK. I want to go back to dance NPC. Go back to that effect, go to its script, which we totally added, and it's totally not showing up. Weird, whatever. It wasn't showing up in that little box. Sometimes that happens. Edit source. Let's put this in here. Let's hit save. I did something wrong. On line 18, and it doesn't even have numbers, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, send animation event needs whoever you're going to send it to. So I'm going to say get target actor, comma. It's going to look like that because somehow I have this stuff memorized because I'm a crazy person. Cool. Compiles. Let's go in game and let's add this dance NPC dance spell, which is called dance NPC dance, to an NPC. We're just going to use the console. Let me save this ESP as a dance NPC dance. Let me make sure I turn it on because I always forget to turn it on. Close U notepad. Let's go back to MO2. Dance NPC dance. Sure, we can go into the game together. If I were launching the game. Launching Creation Kit. because I hit the wrong button. But we can go into game. We should go into game. We will go into game. And now we're not dynamically attaching this. We're going to go attach it with the console. But let's see it work. And then we'll do the dynamic bit. We got to learn how to do the script first. We should do something funny first. A dragon! A dragon! Let's help Dance NPC. There's our spell, so we'll say add item, because we've got Sven selected here. Add spell, my bad. 7, which is our ESP number, 000D62.
I saw a dragon!
Chef's hat.
What?
What
is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night.
Cool.
It flew right over the barrel.
And he's still dancing because he dances every
Dragon.
second. Let's remove the spell from him.
Now, is it? Please,
Chef's
Mother.
hat is off.
If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy.
And as soon as that animation finished, he stopped. So cool, he put on a ridiculous hat and he danced. That's great. But we want more than that. We want, when we walk into town, everyone around us to start dancing and putting on silly hats. They could even pick a random hat. Whatever. We'll do whatever we want. We'll set them on fire. I don't know. We need to capture events, so maybe we'll do something with the on-hit event. We'll punch them, and then they'll get set on fire and die. I don't know. So we've got this open. What do we need to do? Dance NPC. We need a spell on the player that will detect when other NPCs are near the player. The way to do that is with a cloaking spell. So cloaking spells work by measuring the distance an actor is from the player, and whenever they come into a certain point, it does an on-hit event for that NPC. It can trigger a spell script if you want it to, and that's how the damage gets dealt. And what's wonderful is the game engine measures these distances and can, without any additional scripting, trigger these events, which we can listen to, that can add that spell that we just made to all the NPCs. It's going to be a little bit weird at first, but you'll get used to it. Let's just make it real first. I'm going to do what I always do. I was going to say make the spell first, but I'm going to make the magical effect. We're going to call it Dance NPC Dance. And then this is actually going to be the cloak that we put on the player. So, should we do that first? Or should we do the thing that actually attaches that spell to the player? Because what happens is, whenever someone interacts with the cloak, whenever you make a cloak archetype, so I'll say our spell, and here's its effect, is of cloak type. In this little associated item box, you can choose a spell. And whatever that spell is, will trigger as soon as someone interacts with the cloak. It's super powerful. It only works with actors, but whenever you get within a certain distance of an actor, you can do whatever you want. Like, whatever you want. This little spell in this box has to be an aimed concentration spell. I'll show you. Let's make one. So let's make a aimed concentration effect, and then we'll make a spell for it. This will trigger as soon as someone encounters the cloak. So we'll say Dance NPC Cloak collision effect. I don't know. Cloak, I think that's too long, but collision effect. I'll try it. I don't care what its name is, but it needs a name. Just call it Dance. And its archetype is of type script. So it's a script magical effect, which is weird, but whatever. And then we can give it a script, which you may have guessed. And so behind me here, I'm going to hit that add button. I'm saying new script. And I'm just going to give it the same name, Dance NPC Dance Cloak Collision Script. You can call it whatever you want. That's a stupid long name. Cool, 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 cool. Now, let's make a spell for that. This is the spell that the other spell will apply whenever someone hits the cloak. So we'll say dance NPC dance cloak collision spell. I don't care what it's called. I don't care whatsoever what it's called. I'm going to make it a... the hell is this supposed to be? A spell, concentration, aimed. We can associate our dance collision effect because it's also concentration aimed. Those have to match up. And now what's dope is if we go and make a actual cloak spell, we can choose that other spell and be like, hey, whenever you come into contact with my cloak, activate that other spell. You gotta have 2 spells, so that can add a little bit of confusion the first time you do it, but I promise it's no big deal. So I'm gonna just call this one Cloak Effect because this is the actual cloak. This is the spell we're gonna put on the player, which gives them a cloak. It'll be invisible unless you add like a shader or whatever, which maybe we'll do. Yeah, maybe we'll do that now. I think it's hit shader. Let's make them on fire. Or is there like a lightning or something? What looks cool? Frost. I want like lightning, you guys. Where's the lightning? Fire cloak. Are there any other fucking cloaks in here? It looks really cool whenever you soul trap someone, so I'm gonna use that one. Ooh, shield spell effect. Yeah, let's do that one. So this is the cloak effect. I don't care what it's called, it just needs a name. This one is a constant effect. This is going to be an ability on the player that is just this constant cloak thing around them. Although we can say it's only conditional. We could say like, maybe we'll make it so that this only comes into effect when our kitty puts up the fists. So delivery self, constant effect, archetype cloak. And now in our associated items, we can find our dance NPC dance collision spell. So the cloak effect, whenever someone walks into the cloak, now will activate the collision spell, which is cool. On one of these, you have to say no hit event. Otherwise, you'll keep getting on hits. I forget whether you do that on the collision effect one or this one. So we'll try later. Actually, I'll double check in the documentation. Cool. The documentation for dynamically attaching scripts says to do it on the cloak one itself. Otherwise, it'll actually send events for a hit, and like it keeps triggering. And so if you have something that registers as a hit event, it'll like keep triggering. If we run into that, then we have to set it on the other one. Come on, mouse. Cool. Let's make a spell for that so that we can give it to the player. Because effects need spells if you want to give it to someone. So we'll just call this one Cloak Spell. And we'll say, I don't care what it's called. Cloak Spell. Nobody's going to see it. Spell, constant effect, self. And we'll go to Dance NPC Cloak Effect. Now, unless we turn off the Cloak Effects... unless we turn on hide in UI, this name will actually show up. So I'll say cool cloak activated, and we'll be able to see it in our active powers or whatever. So got it here. We got these two. If you're on HD for YouTube, you'll be able to see these two. I'll say what they are though. Here's the actual dance effect. There's the thing that we want to apply as soon as someone hits. We could have totally just made that our collision effect. We don't need the collision effect. This is a good way to teach you though the steps, because there's the cloak spell, which is the player's cloak itself, which triggers this script archetype spell, which on the on effect start of this, you can do whatever you want. So we can make them dance and stuff in there, but I'm going to, I think it's cleaner to, from there, oh, hi microphone, hello microphone, have it apply another spell. So let's make sure that that one has a script. I forget if it does. Cool, it does. Let's go back to our scripts. Guess maybe I won't even do Visual Studio Code because this stuff is pretty easy. Because this one, this collision effect, is just going to add that other spell. So let's add that spell as a property. We'll say spell property dance NPC dance spell, I believe is what we called it. Yep. Auto. And then event on effect start. This is going to trigger whenever someone collides with the cloak. Actor target, and that's who collides. Actor caster, that's our player. And event, we're going to say target.add spell, just like we did in the console, but we're doing it in code here, dance NPC dance spell. And I've tried on effect finish, and it seems to just trigger immediately. It's not like whenever you leave the cloak, on effect finish triggers, which is kind of frustrating. I may be like just wrong about that when I've tested, but I haven't been able to use this to easily detect when someone like is no longer within the cloak. It just keeps triggering so long as someone is. So we could take advantage of that, and so long as it's triggering. Yeah, let's just see this thing run. And we'll make our decisions off that. How's that sound? We'll just do debug notification. And we'll say person is in cloak. Collided with, sure, whatever, is in cloak. And we'll just print out the target's name. So we do target, get actor base, get name. That's our SKSE method. So let's try that. And then we'll just see this actually work in game. That sound cool? See if this saves, if I've got my SKSE enabled. I do. I don't know, let's go into game together. I like to do it together sometimes. We can just see the magic happen. And so I can pause and drink my tea. Or I guess not pause and drink my tea. I don't know. It's cart for a game that doesn't have cart travel by default. Oh, we didn't give a magnitude to our cloak, so I don't think it's going to trigger it. Oh, let's see if I get right up to someone now. The way to give a cloak its size is to set the magnitude on the cloak effect. So let's load up dance NPC dance, and then when it comes up, we're going to want to go to the cloak effect. That's one of the actual player. We're also going to want to give it to the damn player. I'm an idiot. So we'll do both things. It wasn't even given to the player. So let's go to dance NPC dance. Let's go to the cloak spell, which is the one that has this effect here. And we will set its magnitude to like 10 feet. This is feet, not units, it's feet. We could give it a condition. Let's say that this only happens when you have your little kitty paws out. Is weapon out equals 1 means that you just have your fists out. Cool. Oh, let's have the cloak effect have something to physically show that it's on. Oh, cool. We did our shield spell. Good. Good, 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 good. Let's make a damn quest or something so that we can give it to the player. Let's dance, NPC dance quest. Make a player ref. And we can just use that lazily to add the spell to the player. It's just a really easy way to do it. Player ref. And we'll grab them from Sell Any, and it'll pre-populate it because the name matches. And we'll just go to spells, and we'll add our dance, NPC dance cloak spell. Remember, not the collision. The collision is what gets triggered whenever you collide with it. I think we're good now. We set the magnitude to 10 feet. We are automatically adding this to the player. We gave it an effect name, so we should be able to see that name in active powers or active effects or whatever it's called. Squeak, 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 squeak. Let's put the kitty paws out in a second. Active effects, nothing. Let's put out the kitty paws. Oh, no effect. Oh, that's unfair. Is Cloak supposed to be a spell or is it supposed to be an ability? I'm thinking an ability. I wish I was recording. Ooh, did you see that? I put out my kitty paws and it did a little shield thing. What if we'll do it again?
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
I did.
What?
Look in the upper left.
What is it now,
Oh,
Mother?
cheeking. It gets the
It
cheeking.
was as big as the
Everybody's
mountain and
inside the
black
cloak.
as night.
Cool. If we go up here, we should
Right over
get
the
Alvor or
barrel.
someone, whatever his name is in the
Dragons
cloak.
now, is it? Please, Mother.
Come on, buddy.
Keep on like
There
this.
we go. So that's all we did. Remember, we just put them inside the cloak and we triggered it, which is great. Now, if we want to, I guess all we do is we add our spell, and that's kind of it. I think we compiled our script with that spell property, but didn't attach the property. So the cloak collision spell needs to be attached to our cool NPC spell that makes people dance and stuff. We didn't look at we'll see. We want to have that effect to do stuff like when you get hit or something, so that we're actually using this for stuff that you would want to use it for. Dance NPC. Let's go to the collision effect. So behind me there should be a little properties box. And autofill all. It autofilled that spell. So now if we go back to our collision effect code, right here at its source, that's what we've got right here. We can keep that is in the cloak thing, whatever. And we'll say add spell. And it wasn't like it kept saying on effect, on effect, on effect, on effect, on effect. But we will see what the on hit for this looks like. So let's update it to this, and then we might just tweak our dance spell a little bit. So now it should make them dance. We should pretty much know that that works. I wanted more than just that. I don't know anything about shaders and stuff, but I didn't like that shield. Is there something? That's the hit shader. Shield ritual, shield spell effects body. I'm gonna add a hit effect art. I don't need casting. Let's just add that to see if it's a little bit cooler. Yeah, you want to go see people do the chef's hats, and then we'll add something else to the script. Cool, train Riverwood. Head on into town. And it's just gonna add the spell that we need for it, so it shouldn't be that second. Let's put up our kitty paws.
What is it now, Mother?
I'll put down the kitty paws. And we're gonna keep dancing with Jane.
If you keep on like this, everyone in
It
town.
would be cool if when we put our paws down, when the cloak goes away, if we could have them stop. That's totally doable, but more involved than we really need. Sure, let's do it. Because we'll just update the actual NPC dance spell to have a condition. So we'll have it have a condition, and we won't have it be when the subject has their weapon out, their little bars. We'll have it be when the player has the little bars out, and then it'll do the on effect finish whenever the kitty puts away the bars. Dance NPC. We'll go to dance NPC spell. That's the main one that makes them dance. And then to this effect, we'll add a condition, and we'll say, is weapon out, where is it, equals 1, run on player. And then if we go to that thing, script, make sure it has a, here's this little script, boop, edit source. Make sure it does stuff on finish. It does. So it does the unequipping of the hat and stuff. Cool. That saves okay. The only other thing I want to do is I want that spell to handle events, because that's kind of part of the point. I mean, we're already doing really cool stuff with it. But right now it just has on effect start, on effect finish. Let's update it so that it does something when the actor gets hit. So we'll say event on hit, and this one I'm going to copy because it's got a trillion parameters. Like whether or not it was a power attack, blah 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 blah. All these different parameters. They're great parameters. I just don't need them. Cool. And events. We could just say set them on fire and kill them or something. Let's say let's get a cool fire effect. Let's say shader effect, property cool fire effect auto. I think it's effect shader maybe. Yeah. Then click on properties. Set my T. Let's go find something like with fire. Let's just look for fire. Fire effect shader. Fire cloak effect shader. Is that like a fireball? Fire frost. Let's try the cloak one because this is all cloak stuff. So that should be mapped now. Can I open up that effect? Cool, it is. So let me go back to that code. Let me copy it from the box because it had something that was right. So here's what we'll do. Whenever we hit them, we'll play this on get target actor. Target actor being the target of the active magical effect. And then a couple seconds later, we'll kill them. I don't think we can make them dance because they're going to switch into combat mode, and I don't know a way to make them dance. I've tried and it totally doesn't work. So then we'll just do get target actor dot kill. We could do something like send him in a bleed out or something. That time it worked. It's funny, that happens to me sometimes when I use Visual Studio Code. Save. think I have little mini I/O errors basically because I'm running everything on Dropbox. I have all my mods on Dropbox, so that I can switch to my laptop and stuff like that, and other computers, and just like keep working on the same mod that I was working on. I have them in Git and Dropbox. Up on the GitHubs, except for the devious ones. Those are up on a different website. Alright, we won't put out our kitty paws. We'll do that in a second. And then we'll see if the on hit works. There's a chance that it's just going to automatically hit them. But we turned off the hit event.
I saw a dragon.
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as
Chicken
big
is
as a
on
mountain
fire.
and black as night.
And the chicken
It
died.
flew right over the barrel.
They're on fire and
Dragons
they're
now,
going to
is it?
die
Please,
because they're going to hit automatically. Yeah, you do have to turn the on hit event off for the collision. That was pretty funny though. Almost done. We're gonna do this, then we're done, y'all. If this were Twitch, I'd ask y'all anything else y'all wanna do before we finish the episode. We could make them explode. You wanna make them explode? Explosion. How about fireball? I want them to be explosions. Fireball explosion 01. I need Notepad open again. Can I copy the name of this? No, but that's fine. I'll just use an explosion property. So let's go to dance NPC. That chicken dying was really funny. Collision effect. We're going to turn off the on hit. We're going to say no hit event. On hit was just triggering and triggering and triggering by default as soon as they encountered the cloak. And then we'll go to our actual dance effect. We'll edit the source. It's behind me. Open this up. Let's open this back up in Notepad. And let's add explosion property, kaboom, auto. Paste that in, save. Then I'm going to go click on the properties box right there. And we're pretty much done. I'm going to go to the explosion and I'm going to pick one. Fireball impact explosion, sure, whatever. Fine, and then in the code, right before we kill them, we'll place an explosion at them. So there's kaboom, and we'll say get target actor place at me kaboom. I think we should be good. No, I don't want to save it. I just want to copy it. I just want to copy it. Back to the effect. I'm going to right click edit source. And this should be it, y'all. Paste, save. Let's head in the game and let's do it together. Yes, I want to save the changes to the plugin. Plug it in, plug it in. It's my dog's rendition of plug it in. It's my dog running around. You wanna come up here? We can sort of see you. Wanna come up here? Oh, you got the cookie. She walks around with little cookies. Alright, because we turned off the hit event, it shouldn't just automatically hit everyone.
A dragon. I saw a dragon.
But it should dance.
What is it now, Mother?
And I'm gonna hit Sven.
It was as-
Is someone there?
He's on
I yield.
fire.
I yield.
It blows up and he dies. Oh, they're getting hit by things too, which is hilarious. Gonna blow up. She's on fire now. Because they get hit by the explosion. That was kind of awesome. That was kind of awesome. We're at 45 minutes. Oh, I kind of want to do that again. Let's go to Solitude Winking Skeever and go outside to where there's that group of people. Because they're all watching the hanging or whatever. I didn't think about that effect of punching people. Oh, there should be a ton of people out here. Let me wait for an hour. There they are. Let's turn on God mode so that we can see more of this happening. Yeah, they're on fire. This is gonna be I'm so happy right now, you guys. And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much. Here, come over here and blow up most other people.
Someone, do something.
And that's it for this episode. Have fun and attach scripts to players, to NPCs of all kinds. Have fun, you guys. Happy modding.
Damn you!